Justin, look at that. It's the Spiderman.
It's Herb Spiderman.
It's the most amazing Spiderman.
He looks pretty amazing to me.
I
see you're still rocking the original suit. Well, not the original suit, but the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit.
Yeah, he got torn up. He got turnt a little bit. A few gashes, a little bit of gashing, but it's still good as new.
Good news is you can switch to the other suit almost immediately.
Who wants to? This is Amazing Spider-Man 2, apparently featuring a not as well-dressed Spider-Man as the original, according to Justin.
I prefer the Amazing Spider-Man 2012 costume to the 2014 costume, personally.
That's understandable. Should we talk about the game, or you just want to talk about
look at you go.
Yeah, I'm just sort of zipping around. There's a man, he's obviously been crushed to death. I'm gonna breathe new life into his bones, though, because that's a new Spider-Man power. Amazing Spider-Man 2, it is the latest Beanox game. It's like their 58th Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
Which, Justin, I would say are like the preeminent Spider-Man game scholar currently living, just because for some reason, whatever place we're working makes you review them all.
Yeah, so I've played a lot of Spider-Man games.
Real quick, just to get like a quick bellwether. Obviously, the best is Spider-Man 2, the movie game.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Try again. The best is Spider-Man 2, Web of Shadows. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's the best one.
It's a really good. And then Spider-Man 3, just because that had all those QuickTime events.
Spider-Man 3 is one of the worst. It's not the worst, though. The worst is the last Beanox one before Amazing Spider-Man. Not Amazing Spider-Man was the first sort of like, man, I'm doing a pretty good job as the preeminent.
Yeah, I know.
Right? But yeah, I have not. I liked the last one. Okay, it kind of suffered from that Assassin's Creed 1 issue of like only having a few different activities and making you do them over and over and over and over again.
Sure.
Edge of Time, that was the one that I hated so much. Edge of Time was the great one that put you in a building for the entire game.
where Spider-Man really thrives.
Yeah, Spider-Man is at his best in a building.
Sure. So let's rap about this one though, because they get a clean slate in this sequel to the reboot of the Spider-Man games, made by the same developer who made all the other Spider-Man games recently.
Right.
I've been playing for maybe an hour and a half now. I don't know, man. It's got some interesting stuff. It looks pretty good. The combat is very, very, very Batman-y. I feel like a lot of developers played all of the great. I'm really giving this guy some webs.
Yeah, man.
I feel like every developer of like third-person action games played the Batman game. I was like, oh, let's just do this for the combat.
Can you address what you're doing with like the electric blasts? Because I think that would be very confusing to people who are not familiar with this game.
When you beat Shocker, you very Mega Man like eat him. You don't really eat him, and you get his special shock ability. I don't know if that's something that continues throughout the rest of the game. If you get like a giant rhino horn on your head or something.
Seems like maybe they wanted to and got tired of it.
But even without that stuff, you got plenty of abilities. There's web swinging, which has sort of gone back to... That was kind of cool. Which is sort of gone back to the idea of you can't swing on buildings that aren't there, kind of, sometimes. Here I'm using a little slingshot ability that is very slow.
It does not.
I purchased it, and it does basically nothing.
It is slow. There is one upgrade in speed for it, and it almost definitely still is not. Now address how you're doing this. What you're doing.
So in addition to the web swinging, which you have to basically do on real buildings, you have the web zip ability, which has appeared in some form or another in the Spider-Man games.
Just the last one. It was invented for Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, I'm saying a similar idea of you point at something and then Spidey just sort of whips his way towards it. In this one, it gives it more of a cinematic flourish. Like you can aim in slow motion and point it where you want Spider-Man to end up. And maybe he won't zip right there. Like maybe he will zip to a nearby building and run across it and then jump off. But it's sort of autopilots it a little bit, and then you can chain them together and continue your momentum. I'm doing it here. You can see everything's in slow motion right now. And you can see it's I don't really care for like the UI of it. You can see these different outlines of where Spider-Man can end up. It just sort of makes that screen look a little bit ridiculous because then everything is covered in golden Spider-Man. But yeah, that's it. And I have found it to be by far the easiest and fastest way to get around.
I really prefer swinging. I think I'm faster at swinging.
That's interesting. Yeah, swinging also has that great locomotion of like you can let go at the bottom of a swing to go a little bit faster. You can hold down both triggers to do like a cannonball faster swing. It feels pretty good. Again, there's like a lot of cinematographical like flair to like it hanging around right behind you, so really all you see is like the side of the building that you're trying to swing on and not directly in front of you where you're trying to swing, which is complicated to explain, but it'll make more sense once you see it in action. I mean, mechanically, like I think it's decent. Like that Batman idea of getting in punches until you see the little danger signal above your head, the Spidey signal.
Which kind of makes sense for Spider-Man, actually, because he first off, his like sensing danger and being able to counter it like makes perfect sense with the character. So that's cool. And also, there are some stealth sequences that like make sense because Spider-Man isn't impervious to bullets. Like he wouldn't want to do that.
And again, those are kind of similar to Batman too. Like you can zip to perches over an enemy's head and then rappel down and then grab and incapacitate them, which is like a big hook. Like that is what those Batman stealth segments were all about. Here I've run into Craven. Sup, Craven? You've got too many abs, sir.
One too many abs.
One too many abs. You have an odd number of abs. That's not okay. And a squirrel skull around your neck.
What system did you play this on, Griffin?
This is on the personal computer platform. Personal computer.
So what? How is it graphically? Would you say? I mean, people can see here.
Well, I mean, this isn't great.
He looks a little rough. Spider-Man actually, it seems they spent a lot more time on that model than they did on Craven. Apparently,
you can see those shadows are just like, just sort of hopping all over the place.
His beard tech is not
his
right.
Beard tech is not awesome. Kind of looks a little foamy. Yeah, what are you playing it on? Because I've heard reports that some platforms are not as, let's say...
I'm playing on the PlayStation 4. Not a lot of problems there. Okay, I see you just leveled up. Can you explain this crazy system for people?
Your character... Spider-Man doesn't level up, his suits do. So...
Right. So when you fight with a certain suit, like the one he's wearing there, each suit has different bonuses, and those bonuses get... like we're talking about like more critical damage or heals faster or whatever, and those bonuses get more, they get higher the higher you level up the suit, which is weird because it sort of de-incentivizes switching suits, which should be like fun, and instead you don't want to do it because
and like they have different things that they're good at. Like the original, like very first thing he puts on, just the red hood with like a jacket, is really good at like stealth, and it does extra damage. But if you don't wear it for a while, then it's going to be weaker than your other suits. So like, there's really not.
And it looks stupid, so you don't want to wear it.
You also look like a big dumb animal. But yeah,
did you heal at all? Have you had to heal yet?
Yeah, you just sort of spray web on yourself.
It's pretty. I think it's neat. I don't know. It's maybe a little silly, but
soothing web spray.
Oh, nice. It's good.
Yeah, I like these a lot. Like very, very much like the best games in the series. I still think, regardless of what the best Spider-Man game is, Spider-Man 2 had some of the best side quests, chasing down balloons, what have you.
And I mean, here's the problem though, and this is what you folks aren't going to get from an overview, right? This is very neat, and it looks cool. This like looks great. It looks like Spider-Man, right? Like this is how the 10th time you do exactly this, except the lady has different colored hair. It starts to lose a little bit, nay, a lot of its... She's not willing. She does not want to go with Spider-Man.
No, I'm cool in this car. This is my boyfriend. He's a knife collector. And that's his friend who owns a shotgun store. Will you calm down, please?
And is hideously disfigured. Wears a ski mask.
He's very cold. He gets a very cold face. Calm down, Spider-Man. Yeah, no, I can see that getting repetitive. I mean, that is sort of the curse of side missions, isn't it? Like... I talked about how much I love chasing balloons. I don't like chasing 1,000 balloons.
Right.
maybe 12, and then I'm good on the balloon front.
Now, these side missions. Can you talk about the reason you do them? Because
It's the dumbest and the worst.
It's the absolute.
I like things about this game. That system is the dumbest and the worst. At a certain point, Oscorp will flood the street with automated drones and hovering soldiers that if you're that little meter that appears in the bottom right that's currently at heroic level 3, meaning I'm very heroic, if it starts to drop down...
That's your perception. That's your public perception.
My public perception, which Whitney Chang is helping me out with. Thank you, Whitney. If it drops too low, then those people will attack you on sight. And they're kind of easy to take out at the beginning. Like, their tech gets a little bit more clever. Justin, you were saying that at a certain point, they just start putting up, like, nets between buildings.
Big energy nets, just to mess with you.
Right.
Like, between buildings. Yeah, it sucks.
And the way that meter goes down isn't that you do unheroic actions. It's that you sleep on heroic actions. Like,
so if you're
my children are burning. I'm so sorry. I got to pick up this comic book page real quick. Well, that's not very heroic. Get 'em, Oscorp.
If you are in Chelsea and you hear about a bomb at Times Square and you don't get down there, and like, because you don't feel like it, like you just don't want to, then that bomb goes off, people are killed, and people like Spider-Man less.
Right.
It's kind of nihilistic because there's no way to get to all the, or rather perhaps fatalistic, because there's no way to get to all the things. If this game has a message, it's that Spider-Man is not omnipotent, he's not omnipresent, he can't get to all the disasters that people want him to, but the game punishes you for that by making you feel crappy all the time.
Right. So you have to keep doing those side missions. Or, I mean, you don't have to, you can just put up with the Oscorp jerks. But it's a weird, like, de-incentivizing of what is typically like a fun distraction in these types of things.
Yeah, and you don't actually get, I mean, you get suit experience for just like beating guys up, but like that is not major. Like, you're not getting much out of it except like avoiding this game's like weird mother-in-law guilt that it imposes on you.
Let's jump ahead because I'm about to go into Craven's place. I mean, we can check out, I guess, a little bit of the thrilling Peter Parker gameplay, which was one of the bullet points on the Steam page, is you can play as Peter Parker for the first time. Like, awesome! Great! What's he do? Oh, he just kind of walks around, he can take pictures of stuff. Great. You can also take pictures of stuff as Spider-Man, so I guess there's really not a whole lot of reason to tool around.
I just want one Spider-Man, or any superhero game really, that lets you change between the two.
Yeah.
Just let me change it anytime. It's really, like, that's the coolest thing about being Spider-Man.
Yeah, because, like,
you never get to do it.
Right, because who wouldn't want to be Peter Parker and look around at all of Craven's weird shit that he has in his apartment? Cool apartment, Craven. It was not storming a second ago, but thanks for inviting me up. Oh, you killed a dinosaur, Craven. Great. Interesting. You'll have to tell me that story sometime.
I look like AC Slater for some reason.
AC Slater. Have you seen the new Mario Lopez Spider-Man movie? He's amazing in it. He just walks around and takes pictures of Craven's shit. So yeah, this is the Peter Parker gameplay.
Peter Parker.
Get a little quest going here to take pictures of stuff. It is not great, so we're gonna jump ahead.
Okay.
So I guess, like, what are your thoughts on the game? You're doing the review, but I don't think you finished it yet, right?
I haven't written it yet. No, and I'm doing this instead.
Like, I don't know. Like, I there are parts of the game that I kind of like. Like, surprisingly, God, I never thought I'd say this. I think the stealth stuff is kind of cool, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's something that I don't remember doing a lot of in Spider-Man games before. It's very rewarding to just, like, sneak up on a fool and web him up right. I did play a stealth-only segment, which was kind of the pits, because the game doesn't give you a lot of options. It's just like a bonus option to make your normal combat stuff a little bit more, a little bit easier. I like that way better than...
The good thing is the enemies are dumb and deaf as shit.
Yeah.
If you web zip directly behind a man, he will not turn around to shoot you.
Yeah.
That works well for stealth.
But oops, someone saw you. Start over. That's a bummer. Not a big fan of that. A little bit more Craven. Just love the dialogue between these two. Great chemistry.
Did not get his beard fixed or anything inside his mouth. Has Spidey considered he's an android with a metal mouth?
But I mean, also like the combat is not the worst combat I've played in a Spider-Man game before, and I think that's just because it's built on a pretty strong structure of maintaining your combo by dodging attacks, by paying attention to like who's attacking you. Like you have to press the dodge button twice if two people are coming at you at the same time. If you hit it once, you're just going to dodge one of their attacks, and that's not going to do any good. There's some interesting ideas. The swinging is pretty good, except for the camera's a bit wonky from time to time. I don't know. I've heard a lot.
When you're not swinging or web zipping, the camera is not sure what to do with you.
Yeah,
it's kind of encouraging you to not to get back to swinging.
Yeah. The voice acting is like
they don't have any.
They didn't get anybody
from the movie.
They didn't get anybody. I get like, oh, that's weird. I guess Aunt May. They couldn't get Sally Field, but like anybody though.
Nobody. They didn't even get Martin Sheen for Uncle Ben's ghost.
Right.
Worth noting, by the way, the murder of Uncle Ben is a tutorial.
Yeah.
In this game. So if you're wondering how much it respects its source fiction, this is great. I love this, by the way. This is a mission. This is a side mission to take pictures of two men in suits. And you can walk wide to those fools, bring out a camera, and they will just chill on it.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's decent. It's just not. It's hard for me to talk about because it's not like my hopes were like through the roof.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, you're getting another picture, and I'll just leave my computer here. Certainly no
picture of a lady cop and her computer. Yeah, sure. It's kind of a weird fetish you got, JJ, but I got you.
I mean, I feel like honestly, it's a game that's designed to look great in commercials, and like if you're watching this video, you're probably right now super amped about this,
right? Because the swinging, it looks awesome. It looks like it does in the movies, except like when you actually have to control it, and like you're seeing Spidey's armpit and like a cinematic view of the building to your left. It's like that's not super helpful for traversal.
Ted's Internet Cafe is probably my favorite.
Yeah. That's where I go for all of my downloads.
Spider Sense looks really good, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that guy's not gonna get how bad are the cops that a gentleman walking around in a ski mask and a leather vest is not gonna get approached at least?
They're not great, and that's why Spidey has to do what he do.
I don't know. I honestly, Griffin, to me the quintessential Spider-Man experience is what makes a good Spider-Man game is swinging around in an open world Manhattan and like taking on a little side quest if you feel like it. Hopefully ideally one that doesn't take you out of the world, that lets you just kind of like keep going. And with the menace system,
right? That's at the bar.
The bar filling up. It honestly detracts. It so completely sort of robs that of like the fun of that it really puts a bad taste in my mouth for the whole thing, because I mean, even after the game is over, like if you just want to go hunting for collectibles or whatever, you still have to either keep doing side missions or contend with the bad dudes. Like there's no way to like turn it off or anything.
It's an interesting idea, I think, because like I don't know, if I lived in Manhattan and Spider-Man like saved everybody from a burning building, and it was just like, yeah, that's what Spider-Man does. Oh, your building's burning? Don't worry, Spider-Man's got you. He got me. He got my sister last year. And then like you're like, don't worry about it. Spidey's got me. And then you burn to death?
They don't even leave burning buildings in Manhattan anymore.
No.
They just wait.
It's an inconvenience for them. But Spider-Man's going to get you. Don't worry about it. So when you don't, you're in action. I think it should be punished. It's just there's so much crime happening everywhere forever.
Right. I thought when the system was when they first started talking about it in the game, I thought, well, this would be kind of neat because there was like 3 crimes, right?
Yeah.
3 things to take care of, and after I did them all, they were all done, and my heroic level was high. Cool. But then, like within a couple hours, there's like 10 things happening, and you could never. I mean, it starts to feel like a shopping list or something. Like you're running errands.
Yeah.
It's not very inspiring. There's another Ted's. They're branching out.
It's a chain. I'm going to enter the Russians' hideout, and we're going to exit this overview. Justin, thank you for walking me through this. Viewer, thank you for being walked through this. We'll be back with more video content soon. This is a stealth mission that I do so bad at, and so I just don't even want to, I guess, show that.
I don't blame you.
But thanks for watching. We'll be back soon. Spider-Man out!